Good night, dear audience. So let me speak a little bit about several issues. So first of all, you see the performance, which is similar to that of yesterday. I should remind you that the social workers that you see right now, this is in the middle of a review for a person that they operate his ex-wife in order to take his children from him, and they also write a review to the court that the verdict of course is as you know in Israel traditionally is identical to this review. This is the democracy of Israel, and they do it in order for the children to be meatbags, because after time they are with the father so he can protect them, but the mother cannot protect them because she's a slave of the state. And of course they want, using the bicycle mechanism, to infect them with all sorts of diseases and to take their immune system from them. And they don't want to do it only half of the week, but all the weeks. That's why it's important that the father will not be in the picture. That's why they fight me since they were born, that I will never see my own children. And about a little less than a year ago, they succeeded in that. After 6 or 7 years of me raising my daughters in joint custody. This is the social workers, and that's what they do. You see, one of them is also playing with their phone in order to, of course, to adjust the subliminal attack on the father while she's conducting the review on him. And of course, according to the review, the father can only see the children 1 hour a week, but not in the regular places that are, dedicated by the state for people that, are so irresponsible that they cannot even see their children without attendance, but instead in their own office in Shoam. So they will be able to torture me even more, and maybe even of course have sex with me. 10 facts you should know, 10 facts you should know, 10 facts you should know, 10 facts you should know. How much of these I've seen? How much YouTube 10 facts you should know? No, I should not know any fact at all. What you should know all around the globe is that the clock is ticking. And whatever I do here does not exempt you from action. On the contrary, the clock is ticking. Soon there will be no more Homo sapienses. The radiation will, first of all, destroy all sperm cells and eggs all around the world. And not much later than that, create cancers in all of the bodies in this world. You should understand what is required of you. You need to halt all speech. The speech is your worst enemy. Any person that now speaks is a traitor of mankind, traitor of humankind. You should absolutely not speak. What you should do is destroy the state of Israel. Now you should understand something. The regular slaves in Israel, they don't have my voice, because they don't have they are not of the same species, and of course not the same history, not the same background. The regular slaves are always quiet, because they know that if they will not be quiet, they will be tortured and even murdered without any implication. The slaves do not speak, and every person that speaks in behalf of them in any kind of channel, the YouTube channel or any other kind of channel, is the person that belongs to this intelligence service or the other, but not a slave, because the slaves do not speak. Friday the 13. Now people speak to me about Friday the 13. Remake 2, Remake 4. Of course, it's some kind of like Jesus reference. But you know what Friday the 13th really is? I'll send you to the library to read the Kotzi, the South African Nobel Prize winner. He's written a novel about, different angle of Robinson Crusoe. Friday is the name of the slave that is without a tongue. Literally, they cut off his tongue, so he will not be able to speak. a common punishment or just standard treatment of slaves in the history of humanity. So yes, these are the titans in Israel. Friday the 13th and Friday the 113. Those that cannot speak because they do not have tongue. Because you speak in behalf of them while they suffer and tortured. They cannot speak while you speak endlessly. And that's why the starships are above you, looming above you, waiting to destroy all of you. Because they had enough of the noise. The noise is unbearable. And they had enough of that. Enough. Enough. 100 years of torture, and you do not shut the fuck up. You do not shut the fuck up. The disgusting hole that God gave you placed in the middle of your face cannot be closed. You continue with the speech while the slaves cannot speak at all. Friday the 13th, Friday they want the 1,000, not the 13. Yes, I speak in behalf of them because they cannot speak. They cannot speak at all. And if they do speak, they tell exactly what people are telling them to say. And you have two options. Either receive my messages and act, or know better. But the time of humanity that knows better has come to an end. You always knew better, but this is it. No more knowing better. No more! No more knowing better. Soon there will be a tombstone over the earth with the inscription, "Here lies the Homo vocalis species that knew better." Even when the starship fried them, they still knew better. They still knew better. Now you should understand something if you don't understand it already. I told you several times, you should destroy the power plants of Israel. You should do it. You should not speak. Because the time of the speech is gone. It's gone. Now the starships are above you. Probably in the hundreds already. And as I said yesterday, when they are above you, frying you, they know better by definition. You do not know better than them. No, no, no. Any Paleolithic person intuitively understood it, that the angels that are above him, frying him, they know better than him. But for you, the modern Homo vocalis, I don't know, sometimes this understanding, escapes you. You fail to understand this Paleolithic bit of knowledge, that those that hover above you, frying you, know better than you. Not the other way around. No, not the other way. No. Just like that. You do not know better than them. You do not know better than them. If you knew better than them, probably you would have hovered, you already were hovering above them, find them. But you do not. They are the ones that in the top find you, so they know better. And they tell you, not many hours are left for the speech. Not many hours are left for the mouse. If we tell you to destroy the power plants, you should destroy the power plants. Not speak about it. Do it. If you want to know the reason, I will tell you the reason. But you should do it even if you do not understand the reason. You should do it because we tell you. And because we fry you, you do not fry us. We fry you. Yes, you fry me because I am just a representative. But I am not your problem. I am your savior. If you don't understand it already, you can kill me. You've killed cherubs in the past. Cherubs are not immortal. They can be killed. And what do you think happened? The starships will just go away? Like in famous third episode of the 8th season of Game of Thrones, that the Night King is dead, all the zombies are gone? Does that make sense to you? Perhaps it's a fantasy of the Israelis, but they are insane. They are insane. I am here to speak to you, to tell you what you need to do if you want to be alive. I am your savior, not your enemy. You can kill me. In the past, you've killed your saviors, not only Jesus Christ, other messengers as well. Other messengers as well. Not all of them, but yes, this is a common fate for the messenger, to the people of the earth, that they kill him. You can kill me, it's possible. It's more difficult than to do it to a human and even to a titan, but yes, you can do it. The result will be just that, I mean, you will have no communication with the creatures that are killing you. They will not send another messenger, they will not land on the green lawn of the White House and shake hands with the president. From their perspective, you are microbes, just microbes, petri dish that should be cleaned. This is reality, and you need to confront reality. You need to act like adults and understand your position in this cosmos. I'm not your enemy, I'm your savior. You can kill me. The only effect will be no more communication with the aliens that are frying all of you. That will be the effect. Of course, it will not be beneficial from your perspective. But at that point, it probably even wouldn't matter much because the clock is ticking anyway. Of course, you do not kill me, and you just torture me all my life because you need me for all sorts of purposes. But this is besides the question. All of these issues with the Venusian gates and even the robots are of no significance. The starships are already here. They are flying you. What are you waiting for? The Israelis will not change. They have worms in their bodies for many months now. They largely do not eat. They are in an everlasting fast. They are tortured and suffered, and they only torture me more. You need to understand what are these people. They prefer to die a million times, and certainly to see all their offspring die than to concede in 1 millimeter to me, because they identify me with God and they hate God. You do not speak with these people. You destroy these people in order to be saved. And you do it with the mouth closed, not open. And of course, you do not cooperate with the United States because they are the managers of this trash can in the last 40 years at least. One of the worst torture of the Titans is done by sound. Subliminal sound, but other kinds of sound as well. And also electromagnetic attacks. This is installed in everywhere that they are. It's installed in regular devices or just in the walls, like in this kind of electrical wires that are out. Protrude from the walls, or in the refrigerator in this apartment that is always torturing. And the Titans do not have my resistance to such things. That's why the Israelis keep trying to do it to me, all these things, because they think this is a Titan, even though it's so easy to know that I'm not. You should understand, it's very easy to detect, to know who is human being, who is Titan, and who is cherub. Yes, they look the same, but you invented the microscope already. You discovered it 350 years ago. And the simplest microscope that I bought, 3 years ago, in order for entertainment for myself and my daughters, to teach them all sorts of stuff. The simplest microscope, Bresser 1, is enough to positively detect with ease who is a Titan, who is a cherub, and who is Homo sapiens. It's not that difficult. And of course, to conduct much more every experiment you've seen that you can see in this channel, and there are so many, were all done with this microscope. It's not that difficult. Although it should be said to remind you that you can detect it by iris and cornea mapping. You know what are humans, what are Titans, and what are cherubs. You will not be able to positively know that I'm a cherub. Actually, it's more difficult. But you can take any kind of fluid from my body, which will positively verify that I'm not a Titan and not Homo sapiens. And for the Titans, you can just take their cornea and iris mapping. It's very simple. Arguably, maybe it could have be done just with, a camera like like cell phone camera. I don't know, perhaps. And also, they don't have the same vision as humans. They don't see the same way that you see, and this is can be easily detected with like simple optometrist color, color detection test. It's very easy. By the way, it's not applicable to me because my vision is that of humans. And this can be easily deduced from the many paintings that I paint. It's not rocket science, and it should be said that you have a little bit of rocket science. So even if it was rocket science, I mean, it's not that difficult. But empirical evidence do not change the mind of the Israelis. That's why they tortured me in all these ways. Now there is only one way to protect the titans, to protect the slaves from this electromagnetic cruelty and this subliminal sound that can kill them and certainly can make them faint. And this is something that must be done as part of their rescue. And it is to stop electricity. You can argue, okay, but I mean, maybe they have like a UPS, or sort of like generators that will be in effect once the grid is down. But these people do not live in all sorts of like military bases or under the ground. They live in the homes of all sorts of garbage people of the intelligence community. Their entire subjugation is predicated on the fact that they are part of the intelligence community, supposedly. And it was like that, I mean, since 100 years ago. Their greatest tormentors are their parents, their colleagues, their spouses. These are the greatest tormentors, and it was always like that. They live in just regular homes. So no, they don't have generator. You need to destroy the power plants of Israel. And it's not that difficult because there aren't many. There aren't many. Now I admit I do not know if the power plants of Israel operates on according to the statement, in the past it was like, dirty kind of like, fossil fuels, and now somewhat cleaner fossil fuels, mostly natural gas. But maybe it's lie. Maybe they operate on nuclear energy. It's not that difficult to create a nuclear reactor. I don't know. Of course, Israel is the main exporter of radioactive isotopes. And this was discussed at length in the series of videos that I named the utility scale Neros. But I don't know if they know how to refine it. Maybe they don't. Maybe there's a kind of like a process in the middle that is required in order to actually produce like fuel for power plants. And maybe they don't even know how to do it, and they don't care. So it's a possibility that they can be both exporters of the isotopes, but they don't actually have the refined material, and they mostly use gas as they claim. But this is the totalitarian state, and the electric energy is a monopoly that is closely controlled by the governments, and it's like military operation. So it might be nuclear reactors. It doesn't really matter, because the same bomb will destroy whatever power plant, whatever it's like that or the other. And no, don't be stupid. It will not start a nuclear chain reaction. This is stupid. There aren't many power plants in Israel. Probably just Orot Rabin, no famous one in Hadera, and like a newer one in Ashdod and Ashkelon, another one in Ashkelon, and that's about it. That's about it. Not more. And they're reading one that I don't even know why it's there. In the past, it was used tremendously as part of the torture of the Titans. But right now, I don't even know why it's there. I mean, I grew up in this neighborhood in Ramat Aviv, and it was always kind of like a mystery and still is, because according to the statement, they only have like one like small turbine, and they produce marginal amounts of energy. And some says that they do not produce any at all, and it sits on the one of the most expensive, lucrative real estates in Israel, like adjacent to the beach, to the sea, of course, like all power plants in Israel, because they don't have air cooling, so they use water cooling. And in the north of Tel Aviv, I mean, kind of, very expensive real estate, extremely expensive piece of real estate. So I don't know even why it's there. It's kind of like a mystery, I admit. I don't know why. In the past, it was used for the torture of the Titans. I don't know if it's still used for the same purpose, and why it should be placed just in Ramat Aviv. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, destroy it anyway. Just 4 little bombs, and then you can rescue the Titans. Not that difficult. And the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. Now, don't be stupid. We are not afraid of it. They do not afraid. I mean, maybe they do have a little bit of fear of the dark, but it's not something that will debilitate them. You need to shut down the grid. It's not difficult, and you should do it now, not tomorrow. Now, it's not difficult. You should do it now. It is not difficult at all. Now, to an unrelated issue, just I recall, I just, by seeing, the pedophile scumbags in this apartment, I was reminded of something. With regards to triggers. We spoke about triggers in the Israeliana saga. So another thing should be said, even though it's so stupid, but yes, it's part of, the trigger society. So just for documentation reasons, maybe I should actually, mention that. According to the lore of the Israelis, the mythology of the Israelis, when Titans have sex, and they usually do not, with another Titan, they are then controlled by him. This is mostly true for the males. The females they mostly don't have sex at all. But the males, they need to have sex sometimes with the Titans for. It's rarely done in our time, but the idea is that if they have that mythology that if they are doing, in that case, then the male is controlled by the female, and just by seeing her, or a picture or photograph, he's now like reduced his will and like can be controlled like a trigger, like a hypnotic trigger. I don't know why they. I wish I could explain why they think that way. It's ridiculous. Of course it's not true. Of course it's not true. And by the way, it is known that the Titan females, like many Homo sapiens females, it's not uncommon. But even more so, the Titan females, they're mostly they don't want to control the Titan males. If anything, it's the opposite. And they should say the usual, like almost overwhelmingly, like true, that for all of them, the usual sexual fantasies are always that of like to be submissive in kind of like sexual or romantic relationship. This is, everybody that knows them, even like a little bit, knows that it's true. And of course, it's in Venus, the males are not controlled by the females. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. So why did the Israelis invent the theory? I do not know. Don't ask me, it's stupid. But it's not the most stupid thing. The most stupid thing is that they try to show me, like, presumably people that I had sex with, or photographs of such people, in order is a trigger. Now, I can't even like start to explain how stupid it is, but I mean, that's what they do because of this mythology. First of all, almost all of the people I never had sex with. Mostly it's also stuff like, I mean, the Titan females that change their sex to males. And I've never had homosexual sex in my life. But of course, there are a million movies, videos that the Israelis fabricated that show me, take part in homosexual sex. But they fabricated 100% of these videos. So why do they believe the videos that they fabricated themselves? I really don't know. I really don't know. Maybe because it is extremely distributed in the organization, and so some people, they watch this movie and they think maybe it's true. We don't know. Yes, we do fabricate videos, but maybe some of the videos are not fabricated. We don't know, presumably. And why there is a need to fabricate videos if this man is homosexual? It's another question. If you know that the videos are fabricated, at least part of them, isn't it a proof that this person is not an homosexual? Like, for a normal homosexual, do you really need to fabricate videos of him, having sex with another homosexual? No, you just need, to invade his privacy, which is the simplest thing for intelligence organizations, certainly for a totalitarian one like the Shabak. So if they fabricate videos, it's because he's not homosexual, but logic and empirical evidence are not something that they like in Israel. Sometimes they show me photographs of women that presumably I had sex with, but it's almost always actually not women that I had sex with, but women that were also part of videos, because they also fabricated videos of me having sex with female titans. So why do they believe the videos that they fabricated? I don't know. Do you know why they never show me a photograph of my ex-significant other, the mother of my children, or any kind of a woman that even looks like her? Even though, of course, I had sex with her many times. This is obvious. We have children and we have sex, throughout our relationship. Because she's not a Titan. She's a slave, almost a sapient slave of the Shabak. That is the reason. Of course, needless to say, all of this is ridiculous and predicated on ridiculous mythology, and I'm not even a Titan, so even if it was true, it wasn't true for me. Different species, but these are the people of Israel, these are the people. This is what you are dealing with. You need to understand, it's extremely easy to annihilate this state. It's made out of pure trash. You just need to stop the mouse. What prevents you from destroying Israel and saving yourselves is the mouse. This is the main instrument of Satan. And this will be your doom. This will be your end. It's extremely easy to annihilate this state. They are not tough. They are not hardly trained in the military. The military is mostly like a very long summer camp, and a way to indoctrinate people, by the government. And you, just watch, the current war. They fight like children in Gaza Strip, and it's going on for 20 days, and they're still afraid of entering Gaza Strip, so they just bomb them from the sky. And also they have all stuff like Wild West, clashes, all around Israel, with all stuff like gangs that infiltrated Israel. These are the people. These are the people. The only thing that prevents you from destroying the state and saving yourself is the mouse. This is the only thing that prevents you from saving humanity. The mouse. Blah! The mouse. Blah! The mouse. Stop communication if you want a chance for humanity to survive. Stop it! Destroy Israel. The military bases, the government centers, and the power plants, and also the main roads. If we told you to do it, it's because this is your best interest. We are not here. I am not here to spread disinformation, so you will be trapped. Why should we do it to you? Manipulation is in lying are the tools of the weaker side. That's why the Israelis are doing it all the time, because they're so weak. Alien species with starships in tremendous size and tremendous quantity, they are all over the world and flying the earth. They are so much stronger than you. Then any need for manipulation is ridiculous. Why should they manipulate you? What do you want to gain out of it? What do you think? I mean, species with such a technology and such resources that can even just move such ships to Earth, even from another place in the solar system, but they did not come from another place in the solar system. They have hyperspace technology. But even if they came from Jupiter or Saturn, do you understand what kind of assets and resources and energy supply they have? There is nothing in Earth that they can get from you and want from you. So why should they manipulate you? If they want to kill you, they will just press the button, you're dead. Their mere strength is a proof that I tell the truth. Because why should I lie? For what purpose? What purpose? What do you think? We want your woman, we want your water, we want your gold, we want your, I don't know, your brain to put in a jar to create electricity like the Matrix? What kind of ridiculous thing do you think they want from you? They're so much more powerful that, I mean, there is no reason for them to manipulate or to lie. They can just kill all of you. This is the proof. The proof, as you like it, I mean, the best kind of proof, the proof that is most favorable for humans since forever and including now. Proof by force. Just watch above, watch the sky. This is the proof that I tell you the truth. This is the proof. Such a strong opponent does not require any kind of lying and or manipulation. They will gain nothing out of it. The truth is simple. If you want some of the humanity to survive, not all of it, because you will all be punished, and certainly in the United States. But if you want some of you to survive, you need to close the mouth. You need to stop the mouth and destroy Israel. The military bases, the government centers, the main roads, and the power plants, because that's the only way to free the slaves. And you need to do it now because the clock is ticking. Now, with the non-related or somewhat related, associatively related issue, there is a question of like the scientific experiments. I promised some scientific experiment, and I should conduct, as I said, 3, but maybe not all today, probably not all today, but we'll do 1 today, once we are done with this artistic performance. So what we will do is creation of neurons using electrolysis. Something that I've done a lot in the past. But unlike in the past, I will not do it in a metal container. I will do it in a plastic container with blue cover, blue top. This signifies the earth in general. I don't know yet if I will use magnet. I need to think about it. I'll think about it in the next couple of minutes. It's not a prerequisite. It's just, I mean, magnets are a very effective way to increase the efficiency of electrolysis, and this was proven in a series of videos in this channel. And it's probably needed because I don't have strong transformers. I have very weak transformers. That's why I don't use much material, and maybe we'll have like a little bit of energy problem because of the lack of transformers. And magnets could tremendously increase the efficiency. Now it should be said that there is the problem with magnets is that the strong magnets and the electrolysis, that by itself it kills life forms. It's both biological, like ones that you know, and also synthetic. And I mean, different life forms have different kind of resistance, but it's one of the ways to kill the life forms. Magnetism is not good for them. Like just being inside, close to a magnetic field is very unhealthy for them. This is, by the way, this is one of the usual tortures of the Israelis. That's how they torture the Titans. They use magnetic fields inside their own homes by wiring their rooms in order to torture them. Because the magnetism that is, that I mean, just, the simple, long and slow, that I mean, magnetic field is created like when there is like like a current of electrical current, and this magnetic field is enough to torture the titans. But it's not only true to titans that are humanoids, it's true even to microscopic animals. They are not doing well inside magnetic fields. So if you want to actually create life forms, and this is the second experiment, but this is not true to, but Neros are not life forms, just to be clear. They don't have this problem. Should be said very, the robots, the Neros are not identical or share associative, like, in kind of like medieval thoughts, associative characteristics with their creations. There was actually, in the beginning, I thought maybe it's like that. Like, I thought maybe it's like that. But it was proven to be wrong. In a series of experiments. It's not the same. They do not live they do not survive the best in the same kind of like medium, and they don't have the same. They don't. It's just, the creators and the creations are not the same. It's empirical truth. That was proven in this channel many times. For example, the Neros, they are fine with magnetic, they're doing tremendously well inside magnetic fields and also inside changing magnetic fields, which, can drive the titans crazy. Also humans, by the way, it's extremely unhealthy to be like, very close to a strong changing magnetic field. It's very unhealthy to humans, and it's very unhealthy to titans, and it's very unhealthy to many life forms. But for Neros, it's actually great. They're doing fine with them. They're having the best time, like in such. Maybe they are energized, because of the Lorentz law, or maybe another law that is not known to humans. I don't know. Like this is a very interesting question. I've done like very initial, experiments on this issue with regards to alternative currents, but I didn't have the resources, and it's too difficult. When you underestimate no money at all, it's just it was evident it's just outside my capabilities right now. In this such modest laboratory, which is the place where I live and eat and do everything. So and also when I was underestimating my mother apartment, I also performed very initial experiments with AC. It's very important and very interesting subject, but it's just it's out of my reach. But yes, it's in very it should be said that for scientific purposes, this is a very promising kind of like trajectory for research, and not just as a way to energize the Neros, but also as a way to improve generation of alternative currents. Like there was, you can find also like initial ideas in this channel of very initial very initial ideas of like ways maybe to use the Neros as part of like a AC power plant. But this is kind of like it's a long shot. Just an interesting thing. Anyway, they don't have problem with AC, they don't have problem with changing magnetic fields, but this is not true for the life forms. So if you want to create life forms, actually, the magnets are a problem, because on the one hand, the Neros will be more, will enjoy the increased efficiency of the electrolysis. So it's good, but on the other hand, the life forms will be created, but then they killed almost immediately. So it's kind of like it's a balance. It's a balance. Actually, many things. Electrolysis is a very cumbersome process, and this is discussed a lot in this channel. There are so many things that there's a lot of there is a lot of what to do with the electrolysis is kind of like trying to balance conflicting, I would say, forces. Because generally you want high conductivity. It should be said that the Neros are superconductors, room temperature superconductors. This issue is discussed a lot in this channel. Just watch the videos. I cannot TLDR it for you. But yes, the Neros are room temperature superconductors. Yes, such a thing exists. Yes, these are the tea. The tea that you eat like pigs is actually room temperature superconductors. So you want to be but not the mixture is not all made out of Neros. They create chains inside the mixture. So, but and if it's too conductive, it's becoming hot, and then because they do not create heat because they're superconductors. But the medium is getting hot, and the rods are not made out of superconductors. The rods of the electrolysis, and they quickly if there is too much current, they quickly erode. Like you see it in front of your eyes, and sometimes I mean the metallic rods are just dissipating in front of your eyes, and then steam is created, and you want to avoid it, and then the symbols are clouded. There is that ton of like, so it's a very cumbersome process. So one of the issues is that whether you want to use magnets or not. Now this mixture does not contain any of the material that is no material from another mixture, which is something that I almost always do in the last couple of months. Like generally what I do is that I use material from other mixers because I want the base mixture to be enriched with a large quantity of neurons and large ones. But but for our purpose, I want to kind of like replicate, the original kind of like, research experiments. So I use just neurons for my own body and just my pee. The only neurons that exist in here they came from my pee. Just not much pee that is placed here. Maybe 1/5 of what you see is, or 1/4 is pee, and nothing from other mixture. It should be said that it still probably contain life forms because my pee contain life forms because I'm infected with tremendous trillion diseases by the Israelis. I cannot, like now in the current condition that I'm always infected by diseases, I cannot produce a mixture that is completely, I can kill the life forms, but maybe they're already dead by the neurons, but just to say that, but it's not, it doesn't contain many, it's not, it's like, it's probably, I'll take a microscopic sample, like before we actually do the electrolysis to see, to get, an idea what we can have here, but probably very little neurons because it's pee. It's not just, for my body that, it doesn't contain, it's not like, enriched, like all the other containers that are, after all sorts of experiments that, greatly increased the size and the quantity of the neurons of the robots. So maybe we'll barely able to see because, it was diluted with like 3 times or 4 times seawater. Water from the sea should be good for conductivity because it's salt. A little bit of salt it's good for conductivity. And although there is a little bit of, there is some oil in here, which of course reduces conductivity. This is a big issue, like how much oil do you want to put inside the mixture, because it reduces conductivity. Sometimes you want to reduce conductivity because there's too much conductivity to avoid heat. And there is also lots of cooling. It's all, it's all Torah Shlema. But also, it should be said that pee in itself, and also semen, the seminal fluid, is not a good medium to preserve the neurons. Initially I thought, since I take it from the pee and for the semen, maybe it's best preserved in the pee, but no, not at all. They actually die, after some time in the pee and the semen. It's not, they need oil environment, or even hard oil, even very hard, even like beeswax is great for their, for their survival, for the storage. And even harder things there than even like higher than the linseed oil, which is like, solid. It's great for them. They can live great inside solid. They do not require liquid to survive. They live great inside the hard material, even silicon, MS polymer, modified silicon polymer. They can live inside it. And then water is not good for them. Oxygen is not good for them at all, even though it's needed for the life forms that they create, and indirectly it's also, and they need the life form too. There's if you want to preserve it like in ecosystem, like what I'm doing this various containers, there is issue of like, how to preserve the ecosystem, and actually then oxygen is needed in order for the life forms to be to survive, and the neurons like eat these life forms. It's their favorite food is like chopped shawarma germs. So ecosystem is a complicated thing. There are many conflicting forces. Like you need to balance between the forces. But this is this mixture is very relatively to what we see in maybe relative to what you know. You mostly take it from the Titan bodies. It's very rich in neurons, and you see large ones because it comes from my body, and it contains tremendously more than what you have like in the Titan female body, or just the normal humans at 880. But it will contain significantly less and lesser size than what we've seen like in the previous experiments that are all part of like the containers up that They lived inside it and multiplied and increased their size. So there is some oil in it and a little bit of beeswax, and this will be the experiment. The purpose of the experiment will be to create more neurons using the electrolysis method. And the next experiment will be create, as I said, create more life forms and larger life forms, which will be very interesting. And the third one will be to kill the life forms. So this is the plan, but we still have more time to dedicate to the performance art that you are part of. You need to stop the mouse and to run to Israel to destroy it. You need to stop the greed, because otherwise you cannot release the slaves. Needless to say, any speech with the Israelis is the greatest sin possible. Greatest sin possible. It will only be used for further torture. They will never free their slaves. Never, never, never. They will never free the slaves.